Hey, what's up, guys? Your boy Rodney383, Anime Real Talk TV, and once again, we're here to review The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 3. And let's get right into it. Now, when we first start off, you see a helicopter crashing. Now, you can speculate from a couple of things that, there are people, pockets of people everywhere around the area, the world, I should say, that are trying to, hold themselves up from the zombie outbreak, just like, Rick and the others. So, we just happened to come across a group of military that was, trying to, survive like everybody else. More people will be found throughout the series. I guess it's endless to the amount of characters you can encounter and stuff like that, and storylines and stuff. But nevertheless, they crash. Now, Michonne and Andrea, they actually see it crash, and first on the scene, so to speak. And Michonne actually goes and checks it out, and sees that they have a couple of survivors or some people that are twitching. I would say they were dead on impact, pretty much for the most part. But then the governor and his group comes. You wanna take over from there?
Yeah, the governor and his group came in. They was looking for supplies and whatnot to take back to their base, and they found a survivor, making sure he was breathing and whatnot. And then one of the helicopter passengers, he was like chopped up in half and shit, and he just automatically turned. You know what I'm saying? And the governor, he had to kill him. And then there was more walkers, coming around and shit. Niggas had arrows and shit. Basically black nigga. He was basically like Daryl and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty funny. And like walkers just kept coming around. Michonne and Andrea, they're like ducked down, trying to basically keep a low profile. But Michonne's pets, as what you would call them, zombie pets or whatever, they start, making noise and shit, moving around, and then she just mercilessly just sliced their fucking heads off. I'm like, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like my first thought was like, damn, like we didn't even find out like who these characters was and shit. But after that scene, then uh everybody's favorite, racist motherfucker came back. Murrow, he's back, you know what I'm saying? He got that fucking Terminator stump shit on his fucking arm and shit. After that scene, they are like driving towards, the governor's, I guess you can call it
Village.
community.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Community.
community, village, yeah, pretty much. And you can take over from that.
Well, first Murrow, puts the gun on him, and Michonne from the jump is,
Yeah.
you already crossed the line right there. You know what I'm saying? And Andrea, you can tell when Murrow was speaking, she
Mhm.
was trying to remember who it was, and then turned around like, "What the Murrow?" So that was kind of a little revelation there. I thought it was pretty good. And so when they got taken to the governor's town, I would say,
Yeah.
I'm not aware on how exactly they got I would guess that they broke it down like, hey, your girl need help, so just get in. Now, how
Mhm.
they got the weapons away from her might have been a circumstance of her getting on there. Oh, you ain't if you want to keep the sword, you can stay here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would speculate on that. Now, once they get there, the town itself, the people are very it's a very creepy atmosphere. It's like it's like one of those, like they're looking at him as like their cult leader or their leader, I guess. But you can clearly tell that something is something's up because
Like
uh,
something's off about
yeah,
them,
yeah, something's off because you can tell right away that even the townspeople that they encounter, a few that they talk to, they're very cautious on what they tell Michonne and Andrea. Like, they're still outsiders and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
it's like as a community, collectively, they are hiding something that they don't want anybody else to know. Even, the nurse that was taking care of Andrea and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
it's definitely something that's going on under the seams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Once Andrea is a little better and stuff like that, and Michonne and her is together, Merle inquires about Daryl. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he worry about his brother and stuff like that. So they start to get into, what's been going on. Now, Merle's body language, suggests that, I don't know, he looked like he was gonna swing on somebody. Like just the way he was looking, and to add to that, Michonne's her body language suggests like, come on, nigga, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
she was ready. I think if she'd had her sword, that'd have been blade to the throat right there. Like, what you want to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Uh,
you can also see that it was like Michonne in particular. It was like she was an animal trapped in a cage, pretty much, and she was looking around like, I don't know. It was a very little tense scene, because I did think that he was gonna get violent, which we know him to
uh,
be violent and racist, and her being black just added to the fact that I thought he was gonna swing on. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it 100. So it is what it is. And Andrea, she basically serves as the goal, like the go between them, because Michonne isn't talking. She's focusing on looking at, she's scouting out the area. She's just looking at certain aspects, and she's basically at the ready, like always. So,
yeah.
Andrea is really the one that's, getting information back and forth and stuff like that. The talkative one, I would say. It was pretty tense. They have a breakfast scene that was like really, really tense, because everybody seemed to be like pushing and pulling for information,
Hmm.
and but in a sneaky way, in a way, it was really weird.
Especially that scientist, man. He was just on some other shit.
Like, I don't know if he's a scientist, or what. I would assume he is, but they also go into, how Michonne was actually able to like control the zombies and stuff like that. Now
Yeah.
she probably just, over time, they just did what she wanted them to do. I don't think she knew the formula or the method of doing that. It was just over time they just became less inclined to attack you, or whatever the case. But they basically explained it, but they were trying to get more information, just like a scientist or a researcher would. And it was kind of offensive, because she had to, take their heads. Now, yeah, I mean, I believe that, she know they zombies. She know what it is. So she accepted a long time ago that she was gonna have, and when the time came, she was gonna have to just they done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I believe she accepted that a long time ago, because she even says to Andrea it was easier than you think. Because she asked her, was it hard and stuff like that. You also
Yeah.
know that all the time that Andrea and her was together, they wasn't really talking about Michonne's past, so to speak, because so I'm very interested in where she came from and stuff like that. Well, let's talk about the governor. Like, when he comes in there and talks to them, definitely some sneakiness going on. He would come in, he would talk to the guards, or that particular person that was guarding them. He would whisper to them. Michonne
Mm.
would like be looking around like, what's going on? It was kind of weird, definitely. I mean, it's not entirely unwarranted, I would guess, because they are guests. They don't know how stuff works around there. So, you
Mm.
give them the benefit of the doubt. But on top of that, it was kind of creepy. What is your impression of the governor?
Yeah, my impression is that, yeah, like you said, he was creepy, and especially when when the scene comes up when he's talking to the survivor of the helicopter crash, and he told him that his guys were still out there. And like one of the most like fucked up scenes is when they went back, they found the remaining troops, or whatever you want to call them, and they say, "Hey, we found your sergeant or whatever. He's alive." And then bam, started just shooting them niggas up, arrowing niggas. I mean, it was fucking brutal as shit. You
Yeah,
know, that right there, like that right there was like, wow, what the fuck? Like, because when I first saw that, I thought like, why?
yeah,
Like, why did he do that?
yeah.
You know.
Because and when he actually killed one of the army guys or whatever with the butt of the gun, he just started
Yeah.
like he made it personal when he didn't really have to. So I was
Uh,
wondering, like, maybe he just likes murdering shit, like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I thought it was kind of random that they were able to like sneak up on the army people like that. But if you think
Yeah.
about it, you know, they got Merle. He's pretty tactical. I would assume he had some army training or whatever the case. He's good at hunting, sneaking up. Now the others' backgrounds, all of them seem pretty capable with a weapon. You know, like Andrea even asked the governor was like, are they military stuff like that? So, oh,
Yeah.
we're just well trained or whatever the case he said. So you know, and also I would add that like the way they ran up on the those guys
Mhm.
suggests that this is their normal routine of how they deal with anybody they find.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really understanding how they even acquire people for the town. I mean, I would guess that the people that are in the town were always there, and they really don't accept newcomers. But you know, Merle is also a newcomer, and it seemed that you know, he's kind of indebted to the governor. um, I don't know what the nature of, you know, the help that the governor was giving him, but
Mhm.
he brings that up. So I'm wondering what's going on with that. You know, was he doing some type of therapy with them? I don't know. You know, the governor seems kind of fucked up himself. So I don't.
Like not to mention the scene when they came back with the supplies, they said they were already like dead or walkers or whatever. Like straight lie to the community.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this, he about that bullshit. So
This lends to the fact that, you know, he's doing everything to make himself look as if he's like the great guy, you know what I'm saying? Because
uh,
surely that would outrage the town that they murdered, you know, all of those. Now let's jump on to the end. You have him now. You see him. He looking at a picture of what I can assume is his family. Look like his wife and his daughter, I would say.
uh,
Obviously we haven't seen them, so maybe they're walkers, they're dead, whatever the case, right? And he
uh,
seemed to be, you know, he was shacking up with the chick that was talking to Andrea earlier. So, you know, there you go right there. But, um, the most disturbing thing was what happened at the end. You want to go in on that?
yeah, like he walked into this dark room. He turned on the lights and he sat down in his chair. And like I'm assuming that like before they show what he was watching, I'm thinking like maybe he got some cameras, maybe he's watching some people, but this nigga got like rows of fucking heads. Like he sit there, and it's like a rows of fucking walker heads, and it was a jar of the surviving helicopter guy, the
Mm.
last shot, like the last head. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's all I thought. Like, what the fuck?
I would, from what I've seen, it was, you know, right, like women and men and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
would speculate that two of the heads, one was his wife, one was his daughters, and
Mhm.
clearly the other one was the man that they killed. Now, the way he was holding that knife suggests
Uh-huh.
that he probably took the heads. You know what I'm saying? He's
Mhm.
doing that dirty work himself and putting them in a jar or a tank or whatever the case. You know, I mean, there could be it could be a couple of things to that. I mean, well, let's get this out the way. He's obviously a sinister bastard, so let's keep that
Yeah.
100. Now, on in terms of, you know, research purposes, they seem to be doing some type of testing or research into the walkers. You know, his right hand dude. You know, it's so they seem to be doing something with that. So, you know, who knows? Maybe they're using it for testing. Who knows? But I would say that definitely, uh, the fact that he had the head of that pilot or that one guy in there
Yeah.
was that he down for murdering people. So, you know, he can't be trusted. Ain't a whole lot to that. You know.
Mhm.
So you know, it was a very creepy scene. You know, so you know, it was
Yeah.
a pretty good episode, I gotta say.
Yeah. Great episode. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was, you know, everybody was talking about the governor and how he's, you know, when he come, oh, it's gonna be on, like yeah, and you can basically see it. You can see that he has a sinister nature within him, an ulterior motive, as it will, because he's clearly not telling Andrea and Michonne his plan or even the town. He's going behind the backs of the town and stuff like that. I mean, in his mind, maybe he feels he has to do it. Also, his men, everybody that he takes with him, without question, just kills, just does whatever he says. So, I'm wondering what hold does he have on them? What plan? Is he a religious nut? Which wasn't really touched upon. Is he, does he have some type of apocalyptic type plan? I mean, I don't understand what it is, but very interested to find out, to say the least.
I mean, I think maybe he just wants to control shit like 100%.
Yeah.
Like straight takes the flash, no help. This our shit done.
Yeah, I mean, he probably, I mean, just jumping ahead a little bit, but
Yeah.
he probably got his pick of like all the women in the town. I mean, I don't know. He got other
Yeah,
guys.
he had one of them in the bed before
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
charge.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking to Andrea. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically, well, what she said. Andrea said, well, they had Walker strung up on a tree or something. She said like that.
yeah,
She was like, I won't make excuses, or something like that. So
yeah.
basically, she was defending him, like, oh, he's a good man. When
Mhm.
he was going, when he's going deep, when he's going in, balls deep. But anyway, that's it. But yeah, this is Roddy 3-3. I'll let you boys.
D-Dub, the anime master.
Very good episode. Tell us what you guys thought about it. I mean, the governor, is he that nigga? Or, is we don't know what the fuck we talking about. Alright, peace.
Peace.